Israel, and I started, being Hazan, all these different things. He's, oh, now you come? I'll take it. It's fine. I ain't gonna complain. He tells Michael, you like the story? Michael, you like the story?
Part 2.
When I first came, when my boys, listen. Yeah, set him up.
Part
Set
2
him
for
up.
Instagram.
So listen. Everyone listening? My father comes. So I'm Hazan in Shul Or Shimon Be'esteh 7:45. Okay, every morning I'm Hazan. I do korbanot and pesukei tezivra. So my father, driving home, he points out. He goes, "There was 3 mistakes that you made." He tells me on our way home 2 years ago. He goes, "There's 3 mistakes that you made." So he tells me the 2, and I go, "All right, Dad, what's the 3rd one?" He goes, "I don't remember, but you'll remind me tomorrow." When I'm Hazan again, and I make the mistake again, and he hears me, I'm gonna remind him. You don't find that funny? That's not funny, dude. Wait, why don't you smile? You're staring at me like a death look. All right, listen. Go to Dalit. So the pasuk says, "Adam ki yeh be'or besaro," right? And the pasuk in Mishlei connects it. Remember, when the Midrash is connecting a pasuk in the Torah with a pasuk in Tanakh, there's a reason. There's a reason. It's not just because. There's dafka reason. So it says, "Nachonu laletzim shefatim." That the judgments are ready for the scoffers. What are the scoffers? The ones that are making fun. They say, I decided to wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. They start laughing at you. Stay away from those people. You understand me? Stay away because you'll never be able to convince them. You'll never be able to change them because they're not interested. So if they're not interested, look, sometimes when I go out to an account, right, I have a thing where if they're happy with who they're with, I don't go after them. Why? Because if they're happy with their laundry, with who they're using, I say, okay, they're happy. I'm not going to convince them otherwise. They're happy. You understand?
They'll sell them to take away their simcha.
Right. You're going to sell them to take away their simcha, to give them new simcha. I mean, it's a tough sell. So go after someone that's not happy. The guy that's a scoffer is not interested in listening to you. He's not interested. So don't bother. So those guys, the judgment in Gehinnom is ready for them. Like it's En Hadash Ta'at Hashemish. You understand? So they're ready for them. So now the Midrash is saying when the pasuk says Adam ki yeh be'or besaro, right? It connects it with the pasuk in Mishlei Yutet Chavtet. That's what that the judgments are ready for the scoffers. When Bnei Israel heard about, Parashat Negaim, they got afraid. Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, "Don't be afraid." This pasuk is for the goyim in the world, the umot haolam. Aval atem le'echol ve'lishtot ve'lismoach. This is the midrash, okay, black and white. By the way, that's part of the midrash.
מה קרה עכשיו?
Ted Vav Dalet.
לפני זה אמרת על המדרש, אי אפשר מי שמאמין במדרש הוא...
You didn't listen to what I said.
Yes, exactly.
Rambam, I know, but he didn't listen to what I said 10 minutes ago, which makes me feel bad.
No, he's exactly what he's saying. He's saying
Oh, so you didn't finish. Go ahead. Continue. Louder.
לפני זה אמרת שמי שמאמין במדרש הוא...
לא, מי שמאמין שכל המדרשים זה פשט, הוא is a fool.
למה?
It says that?
זה לא אמיתי?
Because it's not the point. Rabba Bar Hana writes 12 stories in Baba Kama, right? Babatra. Beautiful stories. So cool. He writes, so I don't learn Rav Nachman, but the stories are amazing. He says, all the stories have a Jew and I met a Bedouin. in the desert. Right? He tells me, do you want to see where the earth and the Shamayim, he uses the word kiss. Dafka uses the word kiss.
It's a pasuk in Tehillim as well, in Psalms.
Which one?
Eretz v'Shemaim Tishku.
Shaku?
Shaku. Psalm Pei Zayin.
Yeah, but it's referring more
Or
to
Pei
the
Hey.
going to rain.
Tehillim Pei Hey.
Yeah, no, it is. What's the pasuk?
I don't know.
Eretz v'Shemaim Tishku.
Yeah, something like that. But so he says, so it's Bedouin, is Bedouin.
Oh, Emes, yeah.
Hesed ve'emet nashaku. No, nifgashu, no, they came together.
Shaku.
Fine. Anyway, so the case, so the thing is, so Rabba Bar Hana gives 12 of these stories, okay? That do you want to see the opening of the world or something? It's some crazy stuff. They're not mamash peshat. Do you know when? By the way, we talked about the Ramchal before. Do you know when the Midrash was written? Tom, this will blow your mind.
For the Mishnah.
Negative.
I'm an Gemara, no?
Yes, very good.
I like more.
The Gemara, listen to me. All of them.
Midrashim.
Midrash Rabbah. Look, you have over here the Mechilta, you have Yakut Shimoni,
Gemara,
you have Pirkei Debi Eliezer. Who's the Debi Eliezer?
הגמרא עצמה זה...
תנא.
הגמרא עצמה זה מדרש.
So let me explain. Let me explain.
Safasi free.
Let me explain. I think it's Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkenus, right? Is the
These are the 5 students
of Rabbi Akiva, right?
Each one wrote a book.
But each one wrote a book. So poetic, by the way. It's so gorgeous. No, you don't hear these things. You know, I'm not kidding. I'm not a very sensitive guy, but when it comes to these things, you literally want to cry. I'm serious. You're talking about something that happened 2,000 years ago. That each one took their own sefer that they were going to write. A Tanah. A Tanah is a giant. In English, is a giant. The word Tanah in English means a giant. And he's talking about someone that has such gadlut. And when you talk about a giant, it's not physical. It's gadlut of the Torah. And he has the ability to write mefarshim, hidushim, stirot, proving, paishani, all these crazy things. They took one. That's their book, right? You have to have your Gemara. You have to have your book. What's going to be your book? You have to have a book. That's yours. So anyway.
By the way, we learn from that Rashi. Anytime he brings a midrash, it's bigadol. That what happened. That he feels that's what happened. That's pshat.
Could be. It's not relevant. It's absolutely could be. Whether it happened or not. Look, I'll give you a story. You want to hear a story? About 20 years ago, there was a rumor about what's it called? About what was that called? The thing where you go into the Shin Dalet goes into you. What's it called? Dibuk. I was in high school. Okay? It was It was 20 years ago. A few years ago, 5, 6 years ago. Okay? Mike, you listen to this? So now, everybody wants to hear Dibuk. It was recorded. I remember it was a Sunday. We all went to our friend's house, my friend Joey Mizrahi's house. We all went. And we're like, shut the lights. We're like, okay, we're all freaking, we're all scared. We listen to it. Okay, fine. It didn't affect me so much because I said, what's the big deal?
It doesn't matter.
You learn it. No, you learn about it. You understand. You learn about it. So when it happens, what's the problem? P.S. Monday morning.
Talking fish.
What?
The talking fish in Muncie, New Square.
I didn't
hear that one.
It was fake.
Oh, really? The talking fish was fake? No kidding. Really?
It's the tsar that the guy has. That's the big deal. The tsar of the person that the dibuk goes into. That's the
All right,
big
listen. Let me get back to let me retract. Let me get back to where I go. We're gonna forget the dibuk a minute. My point is, look. So I'll be finished. That I actually got yelled at by my principal, Rabbi Aluf. But it was funny because everybody was gathering around him, and you would love him because he was tough as nails. He is. He lives in Israel, by the way. I'll take it in one day. If you want to go, I'll take it. Tough as nails, but I was the only one that he didn't have to talk to. Because I didn't care. It's reading the Torah. What do you want? What's the big deal?
Is that true? It's never true. Okay.
Michael, watch your mouth, Michael.
Fact check.
You can fact check all you want, but it don't matter if it's written. It's emet. What are you going crazy? So when Mashiach comes down the street, you gonna start freaking out?
That's what we learned.
We're waiting.
We learned the Sfat Emet. Remember, we learned the Sfat Emet.
Sfat Emet, what?
Remember, you said that. We said that I forgot which one of the rabbis said that he wasn't impressed. He wasn't impressed by the teva, by the nisim. He said the teva himself is a netz.
Yes. Although that was, why did Hizkiah Melech not sing? We said Hizkiah Melech was supposed to be the Mashiach. So why was he the Mashiach? Because he didn't sing a shira. He didn't sing to Hashem. But I think it was the Hatam Sofer who said, why didn't he sing a shira? Because everything in life he saw was just a nes. So he didn't feel the need. It was like he understood it was the nes. He didn't have to sing about it. He knew sitting on a physical chair is a nes. That we're not underwater and we're not jumping down.
Then you should be singing all the time.
We should be, but he took it for not that he took it for granted. He just understood that there was.
He understood the nes, just the teva alone is a nes. It's not that he wasn't confused by the.
Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. So, but before the dibuk, we were talking about something important. Anybody remember? Huh?
About midrash. Midrash.
So Moshe tells Bnei Israel, don't worry. Moshe tells Bnei Israel, eat, drink, and be merry.
Yep.
Right?
What he said, it's for the Goyim.
Oh, I remember. Wait. Mehila. It's a point. I need to say it's a point. We started saying, because we said, Midrashim, yes, no. When was the Midrash written? Midrash was written at the same time the Gemara was written. The Gemara was written by Rav Ashi and Ravina. The Midrash was put together, Edited, right. The Midrash was written also, but it was recorded over the Tarim, like the Braitot. And the Zohar HaKadosh was also written by Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, also at the same
זה
time.
היה נסתר, זה
נסתר.
נגלה, אחר כך גילו את זה.
But guess what? Whatever you think the Zohar is Gilui is still Nistar, my friend.
כן, לא מבינים שום דבר.
I told...
יש 5 דברים, לא 5, יש כמה דברים. כל דבר יש סוד, ויש עוד כמה דברים. כל דבר, כל...
Pardes, Pshat, Derash, Remez, Sod. Pshat, Derash, Remez, and Sod. Pardes. Everything, every pasuk, every letter, every tam, okay? Every nekuda, everything in the Torah has Pardes. So now, you have to understand the Midrash was written at the same time as the Zohar. If you read Zohar, but you open up Zohar, you ain't gonna go crazy. It's all stories. It's nothing. Nothing.
הזוהר על התורה, יש גם זוהר.
But what's the purpose? Yes, but what's the purpose of this? Because you cannot. It's asur to write down the sword, the secrets of the Torah outward. It's asur. But you're going to talk about your most private secrets, Itamar, with the world? What about you, Josh?
I don't know.
Sure. Most private secret. Why are you giggling?
Because it's a private thing.
So then, don't write the private secrets of the Kadosh, of the Torah Kadosh.
Yeah.
So it's written that way, specifically in story form. Midrash is exactly the same thing. And it's meant so you could extract and take out and understand what the Torah is really talking about. And that's what the Midrash is so amazing.
כל הסיפורים שם זה סיפורים ש...
It's a lesson, it's something to teach you, there's a reason, there's, by the way, it's endless. It's endless. It's endless. All right, let's continue. I just wanted to explain what the Midrashim are all about. They're deep. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. You ready? Okay. All right, the Midrash, moving right along. Adam ki yeh be'or besaro, right? We connected with a pasuk that nechonu laletzim shefatim kivat sheshavru Yisrael. When Bnei Yisrael heard about this, when they heard about Parashat Negaim, they all got afraid. Moshe Rabbeinu tells, don't be afraid. This is for the rest of the world, not for you. You guys be happy, eat, drink, and be merry. This is the Midrash Atka Leshono, period. What is going on? It doesn't make no sense.
Because the pshat is for the Jews.
Of course. By the way, we do not eat, drink, and be merry. we got things to do. You have Kiryat Shema, you have Amidah, you have Limud Torah, you have Gimilut Hasedim. You are busy. You have no time to eat, drink, and be merry. So what's going on? Makshim Zera Shimshon asks. All right. By the way, there's 3 questions here in this little paragraph. First one is what does eating and drinking have anything to do with negaim? What are you talking about? You're talking about negaim. What does it have anything to do with eating and drinking? And also, what was Bnei Yisrael afraid of? What is umayin yad hamura shaya lahem? And the third question is my kashya al pasuk adam ki yeh be'or besaro, that you needed to bring the other pasuk nechonu laletzim shefatim. What is so hard to understand that if a person's going to get a nega on his skin, that you have to bring a pasuk that judgments are ready for scoffers? What the Midrash is here to teach me something. The pasuk is pretty self-explanatory. I don't need this extra pasuk. What is? There must be a connection that we are not seeing. So what's the connection? There's 3 questions. First, what does the eating and drinking have anything to do with negaim? 2 is why did Bnei Yisrael get afraid? And 3 is what's the connection between the pasuk in Mishleh and the pasuk in our parasha? Now comes the answer. V'yesh lomar.
You can't eat and drink when you can't.
No, Moshe Rabbeinu says, don't worry. You guys, that's for the Umot HaOlam. You guys eat, drink, and be merry.
Because you can't eat from Kedoshim when you have.
We're not talking about Kedoshim.
Okay, so
Not talking about Kedoshim. We're not.
eat pizza.
Right, eat pizza. Eat poppers. Okay, what is the inyan? Well, we're eating and drinking. By the way, it doesn't say eat kodesh. It says lechol v'lishtol v'lismoach.
It really sounds like no connection.
0. So let's find out why. ויש לומר דקושר זה לפסוק זה שהיה לו לכתוב אדם אם יהיה. Because it seems that the Midrash, the Tanah of the Midrash is a very strong question. Question is, what does it say when he gets? It says ki yeh. When? If. It should say im yeh. If. The pasuk does not say
Keys that are
the
if.
pasuk. No, read it again.
There are keys that are if.
No, boys.
But if
The pasuk says when he gets.
Key,
The
usually-
It
word
should
key
say,
can also
Tom.
mean if.
Huh?
The word key can also mean if. Rashi
But
brings it.
gitin,
but-
gitin da pay tit. Okay,
This-
5 definitions of the word key.
Yeah, but in this case, I'll prove to you that it has to
What,
be.
Tom?
I'll-
Says what? Read more than just the word if.
Because if you look at the word, if you look
It
at
says
earlier,
shehaya lo lichtov. It should have written, if he has.
and if
right?
it's a woman.
but it wrote ki yeh, when he has.
Right?
Okay, so the mashma, which means it's coming to teach you that it's gonna happen. If you understand the pasuk, if you look at the word ki yeh be'od besaro, it makes it sound. Why did the Bnei Yisrael get afraid? Because the pasuk is saying when you get this. It's not saying if you get this. It's saying when you get this. Okay, go. I'm just checking. Okay, the mashma. It's coming to teach you. By the way, Dad, what's the shortest of mashma?
Shema.
Mishnah, no?
No, Shema.
Shema, teach.
So here, listen. Mashma, we learn from
To
this.
understand.
The mashma. I was trying to get to the word learn, but yeah, learn. Mashma. The mashma shemina ra'uhu sheyeh lahem negaim. That it's really it's mina ra'ui that you it's appropriate. Fine, very good. That you're gonna get not appropriate, worthy. You're ra'ui. It's gonna happen. It's coming to you, right? With magia recha. Right? It's coming to you. Fitting is the right word. It's fitting to you that you're gonna get negaim, like the pasuk says, and that's why because the pasuk says nechonu, sorry, laletzim shefatim, that the judgment of scoffers are ready. Mishum, why is it ready? Because it's gonna happen. The pasuk says ki yeh, when it happens. So that because of when it happens now Bnei Yisrael will become afraid. What do you mean? Demashma shehem letzim. You're saying that we're letzim. We're scoffers. V'shenachonu lahem hashefatim, and that it's like you're telling us that we're going to get negaim and we're going to get inam all at the same time. Why are you saying that? It doesn't make sense. The pasuk says again. Review. The pasuk says Adam ki yihiyeh be'od besaro. Adam, a person, when he has on his skin, okay, hairy, whatever, okay, all the stuff. So Bnei Yisrael get afraid. Why do Bnei Yisrael get afraid? Because we know that the pasuk is connected to a pasuk in Mishleh that says that judgments are ready for scoffers. So what is Bnei Yisrael saying? You're telling me when we get negaim. You're not telling me if we get a nega. You're telling me when I get a nega.
It will happen.
It will happen, which means if you're connecting with Mishleh, you're calling us letzanim. You're calling us a letz, a scoffer. You call it. Well, by the way, first panic in Tehillim. Ashrei haish asher lo halach ve'asat reshayim lo amad ubderech.
דרך החטאים לא עמד.
No, I'm
מושב
saying
ליצים לא ישב.
Moshav letzim,
לא ישב.
letzim lo yashav. Letzim is the worst one. Letzim is the worst one. So now Bnei say you're telling us that we're letz. You're saying what you're gonna get a nega. Why are you gonna get a nega? Because it's connecting again. The midrash is connecting with a pasuk in Mishleh. It's connecting with a pasuk in Mishleh. They're telling that the punishment is ready for the scoffers. If you tell me that you didn't say if you get it, if you say the word if, okay. Not me, maybe the other guy. But if you say when, that's saying we're all getting it. So they're calling us scoffers.
Everybody's gonna be a scoffer.
That's when you get a nega, Tom. You understand? When you get, that's the pasuk, black and white. Ki means when. Ki, yeah, when you get. So when they say hear the words when you get, now oh my gosh, we're gonna get nega. That means we're no good. Maybe we're not as good as we thought. Isn't that the $1 million question that we all have? Don't you want to know where you stand in Shemayim? Is that a great question? I would love to know where I stand. I just know for a second. No?
Sorry.
You don't want to know?
No.
Not even a peep.
It's like having a baby. You don't
Mentions
know,
nice,
You'll be surprised.
It's better
Yeah, but
not
it's a
to.
different surprise because you have another baby if you want it.
Shlomi Kalibach used to say, you never know, you never know. He used to sing,
It is.
you never know, you never know.
Marbet.
Until you know.
Marbet. What is it?
I don't know.
It's not right. Like too much.
Yeah,
you-
dude.
you-
Yeah,
One of my favorite sayings in the Gemara is I don't want the sting and I don't want the honey.
That's
Yeah.
from the bad guy.
No, that's the Suni Shel Ahava.
That's from Bil'am. You don't want that.
Yisurim shel ahava, Rabbi Yohanan, in Masechet
Oh,
Berachot.
yeah, okay, it says, leave me alone, but then he goes.
That's
on
what,
to explain.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't want this thing, and I want the honey. That's the Hachamim say. So if the Hachamim say that, I would agree.
לא מדובשך ולא מעוקצך.
Right. Thank you very much. It's very good. I love that you fill that in for
I
me.
know a few psukim.
I love that. That's helpful because my memory is not good and I
Explain
struggle.
that it comes out better.
I struggle.
It's worth the pain.
It's worth it, yeah. I understand.
If the Tanaim, if it wasn't worth it for the Tanaim, they didn't want it. I don't want it
It's not
either.
that it's saying that they don't want it. On face value, they're saying they don't want it.
No.
But because the process of getting the ultimate
listen, do
reward
this,
hurts till you get there.
Huh?
To become the professional boxer, world champ, you gotta get your head.
By the way, it's so great that you said that. Listen, boys. Masechet Sanhedrin, Daf Sadi Het. Okay, 98 discusses when Mashiach's gonna come. The Tanaim is saying they don't want to be here. But Rav Yosef at the end of the Gemara says, what does Yete mean?
Let him come.
Let him come. I will suffer. I'm willing to suffer all the sufferings in order to just be on the dung of the donkey of the Mashiach. I'm willing to suffer.
To be
all the time
shadow
we're
of
running
the
away, and Rav Yosef says, I don't care. I'm in. I'm willing to take it in order to see the face of Shekhinah, the face of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'll deal with it. It's crazy. You get chills, no? All by the way, Dapim, 2 pages in the Gemara discussing about Mashiach coming and how the Tanaim do not want to be here and all the scary stuff. And at the end, Rav Yosef says, I'm willing to take it. It's crazy, no? Come on, it's unbelievable. Oh, good, right? Really good. All right, let's get back to Aryan. Reuben. Okay, so now again, we said that this is the reason why we're afraid, because we're not saying if you get the nega. The pasuk says when you get the nega.
Yeah, it shows like this. It's if the Torah is saying, Chas v'shalom, we're all gonna get.
Right, exactly right. So again, umikol sheket shekadav Zohar HaKadosh. Zohar says the Parashat Tazdiah. This is a great Zohar, by the way. The pasuk says, Adam ki yeh be'or besaro. Rabbi Haya, Rabbi Yossi were walking right on a certain road, and they see a guy that has sarat on his face. Okay, sarat on his face, not covered, on his face, physical face. And Rabbi Yossi says, Vadai hata'ahu. That guy's a sinner. Pashut, he's a sinner. Why?
Because otherwise you wouldn't have had negaim on his face.
Even, no, different. Yes, it would not have been on his face.
Right.
The Yisrin Shel Ahava or other things, if Hashem loves you, he's going to hide it. It's hidden. The fact that it's on his face, it means that the guy's a sinner. So the Gemara, the Zohar continues. The ilav hachi, if not, lo itreshimu an pohi be'ilen marin bishin. Why? Because the nega goes on your face, it's embarrassing. And the fact that Hashem does not care about this guy being embarrassed, right? It means the guy's vadai hata'ah. Right? So these are not called Yisurin Shel Ahava. This is what the Zohar says. V'im ken, Bnei Yisrael is saying that tigale kelonenu lakol. Everyone's going to know about our disgrace. Afilu hayot hasadeh yecholot ad lishlot banu. Because it says also, I think it's in the Zohar there, or the Gemara, I remember, that if you have the negaim, I think it's connected to Kain, I think. That if the nega is on my face, no one's going to respect me, not even the hayot. No one's going to respect me. So the disgrace is going to be on the face, on my face. So Bnei Yisrael is saying, if the nega is going to come, that means you're a letz. That means you're a scoffer. Which means Bnei Yisrael are not on the level that they thought they were. And we have a Zohar of two Tanaim, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Haya, walking and see a guy, right, that has the nega on his face. It says, oh, that guy's a sinner. If the guy's a sinner, right, why? But the Zohar continues, not only is he a sinner, it's not Yisri Shel Ahava, and that's how we know the guy's a sinner, because the Yisri Shel Ahava, Hashem will not embarrass the Sadiq. So it must be that the guy's a sinner. So Bnei Yisrael is saying that if everyone's going to know, then all of a sudden, that we're lit. Just like this guy in Zohar.
I got a good story. I got a cut on my face from a Shalom Bias Meiser.
No way!
Not get into it.
That's a rough
pretty
night
bad
in the
one.
Goldsmith
Blood
house.
pouring out kind of thing.
When was this?
And I had a big event at my son's yeshiva in front of the whole yeshiva.
Yeah, what?
And I trying to figure out how to cover it up, and I can't put a massive plaster. It will look crazy.
What did she hit you with?
I went by my Rebbe, asking him to daven for.
We need to talk more.
This is a while back. Yeah. It wasn't his yeshiva. It was my oldest son's yeshiva, and he's in the army now. So go figure. But anyway, I went to the yeshiva, and all the guys were like, "Wow, your father's so cool." He's like,
Oh, it's Rambo.
all the bochum were going nuts. They were telling the son.
That's horrible. That's a horrible story.
I like that.
That's all. Of course you like that.
I got props.
Because you came out okay.
I said you should have seen the other guy.
You know
Not my
wife.
wife.
You know what my wife has to say?
Yeah.
My wife, right? So one time I yelled at her about something.
Being recorded.
She knows this. This is a private. This is a family
I don't
joke.
care.
She goes. You
It's
think,
subscribers,
you think
yeah.
you can learn 500 people? You think you can learn 10 hours a day and then yell at your wife?
It's true. She's
So the first time she said that, I said, okay, fine. The second time she said, I go, you can't use that twice because I learned from the first time. From me yelling, it's a reason. I'm not yelling out of anger. So I told her, I need you to listen. And I don't remember. I don't remember.
It worked.
I said, I don't remember. It's God bless. You have to know, Emet, everybody's wife is legit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you listen to me, Ellie, okay? Tough guy.
I'm
right?
good,
You're
I'm
breast
good.
to breast to breast. So when it comes to you, you're like, yeah, sure. Okay?
משום אחי אמר להם,
Right? Amar lehem that your wife was made for you. Your wife is there for you. And no matter, whatever comes to you is for you to be metaken. The one time I ever got mad at my rabbi or any rabbi, okay? At any rabbi, my life was I got into an argument with my wife, and I went to my rabbi, so Rabbi Osborne in Brooklyn. He knows the story. I told him the story, he laughed at me. And we went to, and I went to him, I told him the whole story, and he tells me, it's your fault. And this is Moroccan, heavy Moroccan. And I left with smoke coming out of my ears. Did he even listen to me? My fault? You have any idea what he said? My fault? Took me years to understand what he meant.
Should be days.
I'm sorry, I'm grape juice. It was years.
When I was with Rav Shlomo Morish, the whole trip, anything would happen with his Rebbetzin, the Rabbanit. She's a tough Moroccan.
She's tough, I know.
He would say, Sadeket, Sadek, Sadeket, again and again and again, Sadeket Rabbanit. Even if it was like crazy, Sadeket.
Maybe I should start saying
And I'd start like, I was the man of the tour. I'd be like, no. If we do this,
now if you hear this, then you're gonna laugh.
like we can't. And the Rav was like,
That's so good.
Elish. Sadeket, he taught me a lesson. Just say that
Keep your mouth shut.
and it will work out okay.
It's good. It's good.
So right.
But I remember I was talking to one of the Gedolim. I'm not going to mention who because it's funny, but I'm not going to mention who. I said, Rebbe, your wife could really help you work on your midot. The one individual that could really make you work on your midot is what's on your phone. What are you on your phone?
Watching the share.
What are you on your phone right now? That's more
Sharing the
important?
share.
Huh?
He's one of the 500.
What are you looking up?
About the Mashiach coming on the Sanhedrin 98b.
Google, the best thing in the world. Baba Gadol overnight. Yeah. So what was I saying?
We were saying about this.
So I told her, I learned it.
Just give me the quote. That's all.
Okay, I know it. I learned it. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that'd be saying. Good. Could have asked me. I would have showed you. I have it highlighted. So I tell him, I go. Your wife really can help you. Whatever. So he goes like this. Yes. So it's the same thing all around for everybody. That was the point of the story. Okay, weiter. All right. So now we had the story of the Zohar. Huh?
Songs.
Tehillim, yeah, over here. On the other side. We have Zera Shimshon all here. Okay. Okay, so Mishum Hachi, this is what Moshe is telling Bnei Israel. Ava b'sheba'olam hazeh eno neheg din negaim ba'umot. We know that in Olam hazeh, the negaim do not affect the umot. Mikol makom katav kira Hashem ha'atid. It's talking about in the future. In the future, listen, they're going to, they're going to have negaim. שעתידין האומות ללקוט בנגעים ויתגלה קלונם, and the disgrace is going to be exposed. We know a story.
This isn't so PC, guys.
right.
What's PC? It's what it is. What it is.
You're right. חסד ואמת נפגשנו.
I said
צדק ושלום נשקנו.
Shaku, Sedek Veshalom, but it's not. So that wasn't.
So
what we
you're
were.
right. חסד ואמת.
All right, don't worry, group effort, team effort. So anyway, so we're saying over here that Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Bnei Israel that don't worry, It's not for you. This concept of ki yeh, the fact of a guarantee nega is not on you. It's for the umot ha'olam. She'atidin ha'omot lilkot b'negim. They're going to get hit with negaim. Ve'yitgaleh kelonam. And the disgrace is going to be exposed. We know Sefer Hasidim has a story about Metronit, right? Metronit, these princesses. She died and she was revived. And she said what she saw. I don't know if she was a Goya, I don't know. The Sefer Hasidim writes it. Right, always a Goya, right? So she says that the people that it goes, I saw many people in Geinam, and many people in this room are going to end up in the same place. And I saw one woman with a kitten, with a stain on her, like on her face or on her clothes or on something, whatever. Obviously, there's no clothes, and guys, this is what we could relate to. And she goes, "What was this for?" She goes, "Because this was I made fun of people, or this was my sin, and now I got to live with this forever for eternity." So you understand? So Moshe Rabbeinu is telling Bnei Israel, "Olam haba, the negaim are going to be on the goyim, and it's going to stay there. It's going to reveal." You have to understand, what is it going to feel like when Mashiach walks down Pituma Ketoret? You tell me what you're going to feel. The regret we are all going to feel every time we could have went to shul and we didn't. We could have did a mitzvah and we didn't. You think it's easy, Mordechai? You think it's something light? It's not. Because the biggest regret of your life, you could compare when Mashiach comes, God willing, tomorrow. Because he can't come at night. He comes in the day, you know? Right? You understand? What's going to be that regret? I could have did this. I could have stopped myself from yelling. I could have stopped myself from doing this. I could have stopped. I didn't. That regret is going to be on the Goyim's face forever, on eternity. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu was telling Bnei Israel. Aval Yisrael, however, what does Moshe continue to tell the Bnei Israel? To go eat and drink and be happy. Right? Like it says in Masechet Ketuvot, Samech Aleph Amud Aleph. It's a great dot, by the way. Amemar, Mazutra, and Rav Ashi was sitting together at where? At Asgod Makal. This guy's name's Asgod. They say that right.
Devei Asgod. It's like the base.
No, Devei is the house.
The house.
No, the house.
Asgod Malka.
Asgod.
Izgur.
I got Zera Shimshon over here.
Very Russian version.
Asgod. Well, Artschool gets it from here, from Rabbi Zilber. Huh? Yeah, whip out the Gemara. No, but that's Artschool. It's going to say, oh, you know what? Get that one upstairs. The Oz Ve'adar Gemara. Menukad. Find me Masechet Ketuvot, Samech Aleph Amud Aleph. Find it. So you have three. Don't matter. The guy's name. Don't matter. Tomato, by the way. No, let your boy find it. I want your boy to find it.
King Izgor's palace.
Why? Because he's taller than you. So again, boys, So what happens? Mazutra, they have three Tanaim. You have Amemar, Mazutra, Rav Ashi. I'm sorry, Amoraim. Right there. Amoraim. You might go too, so you better know. Right? And what happens? So they see the king, they bring the king's food, they're bringing out all the king's food. Right? And Rav Ashi sees Mar Zutra, his face turns pale. Okay? What does Rav Ashi do? He takes his face, he pulls it into they're passing, right? The servants are passing the plates of all these dishes. He goes like this to the plate, and he sticks it in Mar Zutra's mouth. Because he saw that Mar Zutra's face was very pale.
What, he's hungry, Kilo?
It looked like he was hungry. It looked like he was exactly right.
He's good.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, but he need.
That's the Gemara. I was gonna say now. That what? So they asked him. So 1 second. So again, Mazutra's face turned pale. Rav Ashi grabbed some food and threw it in his mouth. Okay. So the Tanaim, the rabbis with the asked him, he goes, "My tamas samchat anisa." Why did you rely on a miracle and a nes? What did you? Because why? Because the Gemara continues to say that the servants of the king. So what are you doing? Why would you do that? Putting your finger in the food? Are you crazy? So he says, no, I saw sarat on the food. So I took it out and I put it in Mazutra's mouth so the king should not see it. So the Avadim said, okay, no problem. But what does Rashi say? Rashi says it didn't see the sarat on the food. He saw sarat on Mar Zutra's face. Because why? We're going to explain now. Similar to what it says in the Yeshaya. That when a person's hungry, there's other ways that you can get sarat. Sakana. have sakla, you can get sarat.
I think there's a halakha that if you see food that you really want to eat, you're not supposed to swallow that spit. It's a sakana. You're supposed to spit it out. I think they bring it down as halakha.
Put on low battery.
If you're walking by a shawarma shop and you're like, you really want the shawarma or something, you're supposed to
iPhone.
spit out. It's dangerous to swallow.
Yeah, upstairs.
It's no longer.
Okay, so it connects it to a pasuk in Yeshaya. It says, "Hine avadai yochelu."
It's brought out as halakha.
Boys, yes.
Yes, as halakha like that.
Shulchan Aruch. What's the halakha?
I think if somebody's walking and he sees
The other
food
way, Dad. The other way.
that he really
Oh,
wants,
you have
some
one in your
food,
room?
Maybe.
Okay.
He sees some food and he really wants it, and it's starting to go into his his mouth, the taiva. He shouldn't swallow that spit. That spit is the dangerous here of Marzutra. If you swallow that spit without tasting that food, it's a sakana.
You know where that is? Where the
Let
halakha
the
is?
record show
I
that
like
it
to
also
see that.
says,
With Marav,
if it's
it was-
going to
there's
be
a-
disgusting to other people, swallow it all.
Also, it's not dangerous.
I have upstairs in my office. Sasha, you want to get it?
You don't-
It's in my office upstairs, yeah.
That's based on science.
It's next to the window, under the window. All right, so why did he do this? Why did Avashi do this? Because what it says in Yeshaya, "Hine avadai yochelu v'atem tiravu." It says that my avadim are going to eat and eat, right? And the goyim are going to be hungry, right? Atem tiravu. Umi sheroeh ma'achalim ve'enu. Someone who sees food and does not eat, hu b'sakana liot mesorah. He becomes in the sakana of actually getting sarad, not because he did any type of sin, but because of it affects you. There's, by the way, it says in the Midrash, how do you get sarad? The body, without not spoiling too much, because this is going to be the class of Shabbat. The body has a balance of blood and water, and when a person sins, the blood becomes more than the water, and which forms this thing on you, which is red and all nastified, whatever it is. That's sarad. And then the water, and we're going to tie it to David HaMelech. Try to come to class this Shabbat. That's crazy. Woohoo! Psycho. David HaMelech? Crazy. It's hay. Hey. Hey. Maybe Vav, I don't remember. Alright, so now,
מי שאוכל ושותה,
you found it?
over here.
Oh.
אבל מי שאוכל ושותה,
Yeah, but me ochel v'shoteh v'sameach, somebody that eats and drinks and is happy, en lo siba liot, he doesn't have a reason to be worried about getting mitzvah. Mishum hachi amar lehem al titra'u. Why? Don't be afraid, because in Olam Haba, you guys are going to be happy, you're going to be eating and drinking. There's no concept of mitzvah. Only for the goyim that are starving, that are going to be embarrassed. They're the ones that the sarat's going to come out. So that's, you understand? So he's explaining the midrash by telling you, Bnei Yisrael, don't worry. This concept, why it says ki yeh, why you're going to get sarat? Because Davka it's about the goyim, the goyim of the future. Ki yeh means you're going to have it. So Bnei Yisrael gets afraid. What do you mean we're going to have it? No, you're going to have it. It's not you're going to have it. It's pasuk. The specific part of the pasuk is talking about the goyim. They're going to have it. When? Olam haba. Why? Because the disgrace is going to be on their face, like we discussed, right, in the Zohar, right? But you, Bnei Yisrael, you eat, drink, and be merry. It's there.
עוד יש לומר,
Okay. 1 second. You're the one that taught me to review. So you can't get mad at me to rush. You taught me to review the material so people could understand.
get to the...
You want it. You're going to listen.
Oh, yes.
5 minutes. So he explains. So again, so what does he end it by saying? He's saying that Bnei Yisrael, you don't have to worry. You eat and drink and be merry because you guys are fine. Because you in Olam Haba, you're going to get all your sachar and you're not going to have to worry. That's one answer. Now Zera Shimshon brings another answer. V'od yesh lomar, di'in hachinami, de'mare kera af ba'olam hazeh. You could even say that this nega is talking about Olam Hazeh and not Olam Haba. Lefi sheyesh negaim haba'im derech teva. There's, by the way, 2 types of nega that comes. One is the natural way. You know how many people today have sarat in the world? Rabbi Google will tell you, 208,000 people. Very good. And by the way, do you know where the majority of these people live?
In Asia.
In Africa and Asia, where all they do is eat bugs and scorpions. They eat bugs. Asia. How do you know Adam and Rishon wasn't Asian? Because if he was, he would have ate the nahash.
This isn't PC. Sorry, Chinese.
What does that mean?
You know, Rav Orish, he has now thousands of Chinese learning gone
Okay, so inshallah, when we
in
get
Chinese.
it, we'll cut.
Maybe millions.
You serious?
Plug it in, plug it in. It's
It's
external
translated
charger.
into Chinese.
No way. Millions of Chinese.
I think at least 1 million. They
All
say.
right, so listen, really? Okay, listen, boys, so what are we understanding? We're trying to say... Is it?
Yeah, it's children. I can
I
see.
don't see that.
There's a little line. there.
Yeah, okay. So, boys, what do we explain, Sasha? We're explaining that we could even say that the nega is olam hazeh, right? And then why? Because there's the nega that comes derech hateva, normal way. Someone that God forbid eats shekatzim v'nemasim, all the creepy crawlers, right? Kemoshe niftar lekemah, like we explain later. Ve'elu yavo davka lerochim, and this comes davka to the goyim. Ve'alehem, and then and on them the pasuk says ki yeh. Why? When it happens? Because when they eat shekatzim v'nemasim, it's going to happen. Omnam Yisrael, however, Bnei Yisrael she'enam ochlim shekatzim. We do not eat bugs.
The key
It's a sword.
that you asked before of key it's undergoing because they eating the shkatzim and the shayim. Now I got it. Chazak.
Turn all the phones so to face him, please.
You want to give share?
No, it's okay. I don't want to be on stage.
I don't want to be either, but I have
I'm
to.
happy when I catch it.
He's
I'm
got a
happy.
Sadik
I don't want to be on
Mefrosim.
stage.
Sadik Mefrosim. Yeah.
Torah Shashuai. You understand? Shashuai is my delight.
Why does it say kiyeh? It's too late. There's a curse going to be on the thing. It's on the
Exactly. Because why? Because they eat shekasim v'nemasim. Right? Which, by the way, Rabbi Cohen showed us by the Daf Yomi, remember? He actually, I couldn't believe he bought it. He bought packaged, boys, Reuven, packaged bugs. Crickets. Packaged crickets. For sale, $2.99, $3.99 in Tennessee. My rabbi was with us.
Get him in Beit Shemesh.
No kosher.
You can get him in Beit
Not
Shemesh.
kosher,
Oh,
not
not
kosher.
the
Not
Not the
kosher.
kosher.
But they're allowed to eat it.
Crickets, not locusts. Crickets.
Saying, but Goyim are allowed
JJ,
to eat
heard
it,
that?
right?
Crickets package. They have in America.
In the biblical.
To eat or
No,
to...
they don't have
They don't have the halacha like this.
I know, so because they don't care about these things, they get a nega. They get a nega. It causes them,
How
by the
would they
way,
be punished for something that they're not obligated to keep?
it's not, if I'm not obligated not to have, excuse me, I'm not obligated not to drink canola oil. If I drink canola, no it's not.
It's a good question.
Cause and effect. Excuse me.
I
Charles,
got
it's a
it.
good question.
No problem.
No, he's saying it's not healthy.
What does cause and effect
Healthy.
mean?
Saying
Excuse me.
it's not
If I sit down and eat potato chips all day long, is it asur? It's not asur. But am I going to gain 17 pounds? Yeah.
You're over Syrian for sure.
No.
Show him.
Small enough to
Look at Ashi. Talk about your spiritual nefesh, not your physical nefesh. Give me another example. Ashi, sorry.
You're
Sorry.
obligated to keep your.
I'm sure you are, but you gave me an example that was not correct.
By the
Rambam.
way, there's a whole effort
My Rav, I had my Rav
to
Pendler.
preserve the tradition of the Greeks.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish.
People that know-
Let me finish. Boys, we got a few more minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, that's-
Oh, yeah.
So, it's okay, boys. So you want to say for Olam Hazeh, and you want to say what? That the Reuben, I'm getting yelled at. Help me out. לפי שיש נגעים ובאים דרך טבע, מי שאוכל שקצים ונמסים שמו שנכתב, like we can say later. ואלו יבואו דווקא לנוכלים. This is going to come to נוכלים. That are מותר for them to eat שקצים ונמסים. And that's why it says ki yeah when it happens, because it's gonna happen. You drink canola oil all day, you're gonna gain weight. That's the bottom line. However, omnam, what? It's true.
You end up not institutional.
It's right.
He's saying that this is an unhealthy. What they're doing is unhealthy. They get it.
Omnam Israel. However, Bnei Israel who do not eat. No.
Wait, one word. What he's saying is, you're saying the Gaim is like a spiritual, like attack.
Not spiritual,
right?
physical.
A physical, but like a punishment.
Physical will
like
give you
a sin.
sarak. Leprosy.
Leprechaun.
Leprosy.
And now you're saying it's just because you're not eating healthy food. He's
No,
saying-
I gave an
he's saying-
example. Just because it's not a sud does not mean that there's no effect to
מותר
it.
לאכול את זה, זה עובדה
Right,
שזה...
he's asking.
But the Arizal says the way it's not it's a consequence. It's not a punishment. It's a consequence.
It tells you, derech teva, it's natural.
I said that.
למי שאוכל שקצים. Whoever eats bugs, this is what happens.
Right.
It's not a good thing. You eat poison, you're gonna
Right.
get sick. It's natural.
So, however, Bnei Israel that does not eat shekasim, they are allowed to eat any type of food. Beli pahad. They don't have to worry about this whole concept of negaim, right? Because they don't have this thing. They don't have. The first answer we gave was olam haba. Ki yeah, when it happens, right? When it happens. But what's your name, boy?
Wojcik.
Boy that's acting like he's
Lad.
sleeping. What's your name?
Moshe,
Moshe
Moshe.
Shecha.
Moshe.
Come here.
Moshe
Come here.
Uriel. Moshe Uriel.
Come here. I'm not gonna say it twice. Come here.
Only 3 times.
Sit over here. Come sit over here next to me.
Moshe.
V'tarat
Bones, wake up, shut your bones. Wake up.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Alright, look. Look at to know me. I hit everybody. It's okay.
ולפי שיש מן
Alright.
אחר.
Well, the שיש מן החשד, and now that there's another type of nega that comes because of what? Hata'im, averot. So the first type is the regular type. You eat bugs? You happen to eat bugs? Good boy. So people that don't eat bugs, right, don't have to worry about the first type. But there's another type of nega that you do have to worry about. Spiritual. Right? That has to do with us. Right? This is why we have the deen of negaim b'Yisrael. And not for the Umot Olam. Why do we have the nega? In order to be mechaper alenu. To be mechaper alenu. אם יעשו מה שכתוב בפרשה, כדאמרים בפרק כ"ב בברכות, נגעים הבו מזבח כפרה. It says in the Gemara that in the beginning of Masechet Berachot, that negaim is a form, is like a mizbeach that you're able to offer kapara, because it's embarrassing. People know that you have a nega, that you're tameh. If Itamar sees me in the street and I'm tameh and he wants to run and give me a hug and I gotta run 4 amot, don't touch me, I'm sick. What's it called? I'm tameh. Imagine like during the COVID days, right? If I told you, oh, don't, I'm in quarantine. You're gonna run. You know who your real friends are. You're gonna run real fast. You're gonna run real fast. And the height, you know what I mean? Like the height or whatever, right? Why are you gonna run real fast? Because you don't want to touch me. Same thing with a nega. So why do you get a nega? Because of your sins. So the other way of getting the shekas, the key here is talking about the goyim. That's for sure gonna happen. They eat. It's cause and effect. It's a circumstance. It's going to happen. But us, that if it happens, it's only because it's going to be for our sins, and we're going to be mechaper our sins. Right? By the way, if you go back to the story of the Zohar, who was this guy that they saw that had the nega on his face? It was the Talmid Hacham of the town.
What did he do? What did he do?
Psycho! Oh my gosh, he didn't reprimand the people the way he was supposed to. So he got affected with a nega. And the guy tells the Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Hiya, you must be the students of Rashbi. You must be the students of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Because nobody would talk to me, because they said, Hatzai Badai, who the guy's for sure a sinner. There's no way that anybody would talk to me like that. Because the guy, the students of Rashbi are not afraid of anything. So it must be that you guys are the big guys. Because if my children come, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna come after you. So then what? So then he realizes what really happens. The Zohar continues, talks about the Ben Zeiri, the youngest son of this guy, right? And sees the father crying, and he says, "Mia kamocha," because the Yag Midot, right? He says in Micha, right? The Yag Midot, the 30 things in Micha, right? And he cried in front of these 2 gedulim, in front of his youngest son, and he was mechaper, and the nega went away. To show you that the whole concept of the nega, by unbelievable Zohar, it's poetry. It's telling you that what? That the nega is there specifically to be mechaper on your avonot. And if it comes on the face, it's not yisrin shel ava. It's yisrin shel, you gotta be mechaper. He did something, I gotta pay for it. Right? והיה אדם חשוב שלקה בנגעים לכפרת חטאו ועיין שם. And that's what it says. The rabbis who didn't reprimand the people, he got hit with the nega. Why did he get hit with the nega? Because he had an obligation. We all have an obligation to say to the people that we know in the way they can understand, the way they can accept it. Does not mean go up with smoking guns. It goes up talking to them. I have people in my mind for 6-7 months I want to say things to. I'm still not ready. I still didn't get there. I didn't have the opportunity, or I didn't have something to tell them. I didn't get there yet. Yes, because that's like a pasuk later. It's like the same parasha, by the way. You by the way, the Gedulim hold, you go to the Gedulim, right? You get a beracha. You think that you got your beracha and you have a nice day. The what are you, Gedulim? What Gedulim?
No, after Echemach is Pasha Kedoshim.
Yeah, so say Hochia Tochia Demetecha is also Kedoshim. So the Gedulim hold, they still think about that guy who came to me asking for those things. You are still on his shoulders. You went to a Gadol, he's still thinking about you, he's still thinking about your problems. That's why he's a gadol. V'ahavta l'cha kamocha. He cares about you very much, even if he met you for a second. You know why? Because he's your brother.
More than that.
You understand that? He is your brother. He knows that more than you know that. And that's why he remembers you going to him more than you remember going to him. It's crazy. And it's true. It's an unbelievable thing. We think, there was a story about, I think it was Rav Chaim Kanievsky, and we're going to finish with this. A guy he went to him, and he goes, and he got his, like, the buha, right? So the guy waited online for an hour and a half. Got the buha, beracha v'asacha, the Rashi Tevot, the bet and the hey, buha. Right? That's Rav Chaim Kanievsky to get the people moving. Beracha v'asacha. So the guy felt very slighted. So he kept bothering the Gabaim and saying, no, it's not, we're an hour and a half. I don't. That's it. No. So the Gabaim goes back to the Rav Chaim, and he says, leave him. And they go back to him again the second time. Rav Chaim turns to him and goes, what do you want? The guy came to me for beracha from the bottom of my heart. I gave it to him from the bottom of my heart. He can't get upset that I can do it faster than he can. That's what he said. You understand? We hold the world to our standard. Wherever we are, nobody's higher. Nobody gets it more than me. But that's not true, because no one's waiting an hour and a half to see any of us. But the Gedolim you do, and we'll do it again. When I went to Rav David Abu Hatzera, I came home, I was dead. It was 10 hours. Picking my rabbi up from Jerusalem, then going to Nadia, 10 hours by the time I got home. I lie down, I'm like this. My daughter asked me, my oldest daughter came to me, and she goes, how was it? I smiled, and I said, there's nobody, you want to know the power of the Torah? I told you could drive 2-3 hours and see a guy for 15 seconds and he could change your life forever. And why? Because he has the power of the Torah behind him. His entire life is about the Torah. But if you go to any Joe Schmo and do that ain't going to work. Why? Because there's no Torah, there's nothing. And that's what I told her. In the Zechut of our learning, of a Zera Shimshon, okay, who gives very strong haftahot. You should be happy. You happy?
Yeah.
I feel like you're not. I'd like to see more smiles. Okay, he's very cute. Okay, we should all see haftahot for us, for our families, until Mashiach B'Rabi Amenu. Amen. All right, shut all this off.
Yeah. Good job. Everyone subscribe. Zera Shimshon. We love you.
All right, boys, help me clean up.
No more Kaddish, or we already did a Kaddish?